There was something special in the mornings of our childhood, a quiet magic that we carry with us to this day, even without realizing it. It wasn't about what we had, but what we felt. We didn't have much. There were no cars taking us to school, no central heating waiting for us when we got there. But we had something that today seems almost impossible to recover, something intangible, yet so powerful. We woke up to a different world. The air itself was different, filled with the smell of peat coming from the chimneys of the houses. A comforting, earthy scent that promised warmth within. The only sound in the morning silence was the rhythm of our own footsteps on the damp, cobbled roads. It was a world of simple sensations. The sting of the cold on our cheeks and hands, our breath turning to mist in the crisp air. We'd grip the worn leather straps of our satchels, our small fingers turning pink. A familiar feeling that meant another school day was beginning. That old stone schoolhouse wasn't just a building. It was our entire world. It stood there, solid and timeless, against the misty green landscape. I can still picture it, the dark slate roof, the tall windows with peeling paint, and that heavy, weathered oak door that seemed so monumental to us. Inside, the walls were cold to the touch, and the air smelled of chalk dust and old wood. The creak of the floorboards was a language all its own, a sound that echoed through the halls and our memories. The schoolyard was our stage, a simple patch of dirt where we came alive before the bell rang. We'd play with a worn rubber ball, its bounce muffled by the earth, or lean against the cold stone walls, sharing secrets in hushed voices. The real warmth came from the corner of the classroom, from the big stove that crackled and glowed, a beacon we all huddled towards. The low hum of our classmates' voices, the simple joy of being together before the lessons began. These were the moments that truly mattered. Then, the slow, heavy creak of the main door opening, spilling morning light into the dim entrance. We'd file in, one by one, our small silhouettes framed against the brightness. It was in those chilly corridors, surrounded by wet wool coats hanging on iron hooks, and the sight of our own satchels lined up, that we learned more than just letters and numbers. We learned about friendship, about resilience, about community. We learned how to live. The classroom itself was a sanctuary of learning. Rows of old wooden desks, scratched and carved with the history of generations before us. A simple crucifix on the wall, a faded map of Ireland, and the teacher, a figure of both authority and care, pointing at the chalkboard. In that quiet, simple room, under the weak light filtering through the tall windows, we didn't just study subjects. We began to understand who we were. We learned our place in that small world, and it prepared us for the bigger one waiting outside. Looking back, it all seems so distant now. Those cold mornings, those familiar faces, that profound sense of innocence. It feels like a lifetime ago, a black and white film from a forgotten era. The world has changed so much, and so have we. The pace is faster, the days are louder, and the simple connections we had can feel lost in the noise of modern life. We rush from one thing to the next, often forgetting the feeling of just walking, of just being present in the moment. Sometimes I wonder if we traded something precious for all this progress. We have so much more now in terms of comfort and technology, but do we have the same depth of connection? Do our children know the feeling of a shared journey on a cold morning? The quiet companionship of walking to school with their friends, the world waking up around them. It was a time of shared hardship, yes, but also shared strength. We relied on each other. We looked out for one another. That walk to school wasn't just a commute. It was a daily pilgrimage, a ritual that bonded us together. But memory is a powerful thing. And even though those days are gone, they are not lost. All it takes is closing your eyes for a moment. Suddenly, you can feel the chill in the air again. You can hear the crunch of boots on the gravel. You can smell the peat smoke and the damp earth. In our hearts, we are still those children walking down that misty country road. We still feel the comforting weight of those heavy satchels on our backs, and the unforgettable lightness of those days in our souls. Thank you for joining me on this walk down memory lane. If these memories resonate with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the heart.